Welcome, Morflix friends. This is Mortgage Talk Live, our second show for last week, second show for this week. And today we have a couple of different topics that we're going to be discussing, and we have a very special guest today on Mortgage Talk Live. We want to welcome Michelle Vaughn. Michelle from Paradise Mortgage Brokers down in Louisiana. How are you, Michelle?
Great. Working. We're super busy right now, so it's good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I noticed that I guess people with COVID and thinking the situation with COVID, and we're gonna get a slowdown. And I personally I don't originate anymore. I had a couple of people that helped me, and I just filter the loan, give it to them, and they can work on it. And because I'm trying to get more time, give it to the network, to the streaming service, to Morflix, and develop it. And I've been doing it for a few months now. Everything started back in last summer, where I started building a broadcast studio inside my office. It took 6, 7, almost 8 months. It was ready January, February. And we were going to start broadcasting from that live streaming studio. And so it happens that's when COVID hit and everybody went home. And I've been broadcasting from the house ever since. So pretty much like everybody. So how do you holding up? And go ahead and introduce yourself to the Morflix viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Michelle Vaughn. I am a mortgage broker owner. I own my own mortgage broker shop. I am moment, but I've been an originator. I was kind of born into the business. My uncle was a mortgage broker first, and then went into some other retail division. But anyway, so I really have always loved what I did. Being just a loan originator was so fulfilling to me. Being able to use people's biggest asset to help them financially better themselves and financially utilize their biggest asset to become more financially stable was always appealing to me since I was a young child. So I kind of dove in with it, really got revamped, repumped up whenever BRAW, Brokers Are Better, Association of Independent Mortgage Brokers came back into play. And so it really kind of created a new light for me. I decided to open up my own shop, did it in October of 2018. Since then, I have expanded to Philadelphia. I have several other states on the horizon. But the first of all,
what states are you licensed? So anybody that can hear you, because in Morflix, the thing is, it doesn't go to loan officer, just loan officer or realtor. It'll go to the general public. So the general public might email me, I need a loan officer in Pennsylvania. I need a loan officer. So what states are you licensing?
So right now I'm in Pennsylvania and Louisiana. I have Michigan that is pending, still waiting on them. Okay. And then next is New Jersey and California. Those are down the road, so I can't get those yet. But definitely as of today, Pennsylvania, we have pretty active purchase business in Pennsylvania and Louisiana. And look, I can't help but let everyone know that our fellow brokers are continuing to help us grow our business. So not only are we concentrating on our realtor referrals, our customer referrals, but our broker referrals and our family there has been huge to our success. So I really love the accountability that, we all give to each other, and the camaraderie and the friendship. And, I really just, it's one of those things where sometimes you just want to pinch yourself and be like, how am I so lucky to be so part of such an amazing network that, where we all help grow each other. So, but other than that, yeah, huge things. I mean, the growth potential that I have for Paradise in the next 5 years is sometimes really, really scary. Y'all know I'm pretty honest about everything in my life on the social media, because I really have nothing to hide. But the growth that we have into branching into certain things is really something that, I'm scared to death, but so excited to do. And I can't wait until, all those things can be launched and all of my visions can come together. So.
I met you on Ames, South Florida, or Miami,
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale,
we met in Fort Lauderdale.
At the beautiful, was it the Diplomat? I think it was a Diplomat.
Yeah, it was a Diplomat. That was a beautiful place.
Beautiful.
I didn't stay that trip. I flew in that morning and flew home because I was so busy at the time.
We drove from Orlando, so I'm based in Orlando.
Okay, so
the 3 hours, so that's fine. But a beautiful resort, and I met you there. And at that point, did you have any loan originators with you, or I think you were at that point because you asked me, hey, because I already had a couple of loan officers that you were asking me how, a few things, and I told you, listen, you do this, you do that. Have you hired any loan officers? Have you had people come to you on board?
I've had a lot of people come to me, and I'm kind of handpicking people. I've had a lot of things happening on the back end where people were suggested partnerships. So I'm trying to weed through all that. The most important thing, so I kind of we had relocated to Philadelphia for 6 months, and that business had kind of started picking up. And then I came home to take care of some personal things. But, in the midst of that, got so busy, I was drowning almost. Like, it was to a point where I was working 18 hours a day and I was literally not doing anything. So the first thing that I did, and I decided that I had to build a good foundation. And so I decided to start staffing up just for my business alone. I have a full-time processor, a full-time assistant. And at this point, we are slowly taking on, I've handpicked loan officers. We're slowly taking them on one by one, because I'm really big on, I want Paradise to grow, but I want it to grow successfully, and I want it to grow in a way that we don't, crumble before we get to the top. So,
because at least me as a business owner, and I have made the mistakes before, and now with my partner, she's the one in charge of the mortgage company. We had come to the conclusion that same thing like you, we had to hire people that have experience, they have a track record, that at least had a couple of years on this lending environment, because it's not easy. And somebody is not going to make you look bad. It's hard.
Well, it's something that you also want to make sure that the people who I hire have to have the same vision and goals that I have. So one of my biggest things for me is whenever someone, I look at every single client as a client for life. So they don't just come to me and get a mortgage and leave, and it's like one transaction. I've always had that mindset. I've always operated that way. So for me, the biggest thing is, can we take care of this client in using their biggest asset is making sure that their insurance is done properly. Have they done their homestead exemption? It's things that we constantly following up with, because we want to make sure that, when they need us for the next mortgage, that we're already there. I have lots of clients who are on their second, third, fourth home with me, even in the last couple years. So, it's something that whenever I acquire a client, I want it to be a relationship with that client for life. And so I really want that same mindset. I really don't want this one and done thing that it's different for every business owner. You can, choose to operate however you choose, but that's something that I'm really focused on, is being a critical component to the borrower's lives in every aspect possible. So I'm really looking for people who are wanting to have that same vision and goal for their clients.
Correct. And that's the same thing with us. We try to give the best experience possible at the beginning when they come for the first time. Try to give them the best service possible, best rates, and definitely give them the good service and the follow-up. What are you doing in terms of follow-ups once the client closes? Do you have a system in place? Do you have a software?
Yeah, so we use
letters.
Whiteboard CRM. Sorry if I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No. So we use Whiteboard CRM. It's been very successful communication tool. Something I've always done typically is, I'm very big on my calendar. So calendar reminders are huge to me. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course I use social media. So, as always, I'm constantly posting. Typically most of my clients are my Facebook friends. There's something I follow. I'm really big on I know that sounds silly, but your Facebook memory is a beautiful CRM, and tells you when their birthday is. It tells you when, you know, when you close on their house because you took a picture and you screenshotted it or whatever. But also we are using Whiteboard. I also use Microsoft Outlook, Calendar, because it syncs seamlessly with my iPhone and I can do it on the go. And then really just constantly making sure that we're staying in touch with our clients and, you know, that they know that we're available to them if they need anything.
Gotcha. Okay. And in terms of, you cover in terms of, and that's the piece of marketing that you're doing right now. You concentrate on social media and past clients. Do you have a realtor referral network that refers business, or you just strictly going directly to clients, directly to the consumer, and just not working with realtors? Some people like to do that. Some people like the realtor referral. So some people have a mix. What do you do in terms of that?
I have a pretty big mixture. So of course, social media has always been my biggest one where people can reach out to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, any given day, I have private messages of 15 open at a time of people asking me about their home purchase or their cousin or their mother or their brother, or what should it be best if I get a HELOC? Should I do? So all day people are communicating with through Messenger, and that's why I'm always on Facebook. You know, I laugh whenever people are like, "Oh, you can't be working because you're on Facebook all day." And I'm like, this gym. Okay, so I've been on Facebook 13 years, and the beauty of the Facebook is that like people, I'm very vocal and open about what I have going on in my life, and so like people are pretty respectful. Like if I mean, for the most part, if I'm having a personal day, they kind of hold their questions to the next day, or they're like, hey, I know don't respond to this right now, but my inbox is a crazy, you know,
through Messenger.
From Facebook Messenger, it's completely filled with questions for mortgages. I don't entertain anything.
Yeah, I have William Caballero is one of the loan officers that he's on the group. And I did send him a message last week, a week before, and he replied like a week ago. He told me, "Oh, Marvin, I'm sorry, I had like 75 messages."
It's crazy.
So it works.
So I've created a system. Yeah, I've been doing Facebook for 13 years now. And so, you know, I do the videos. I try to do helpful videos just on live. I don't do a lot of preparation. I just get on and I speak about something. Mm-hmm. And so it's just created a huge referral network. So like somebody posts on a group or on their page and it's like, hey, I need a mortgage broker or a mortgage lender in Louisiana. And, you know, you get 6 tags from friends and family who are trying to contact. It's just a consistent, I want to say last week I had 11 locked loans, and then we got 3 contracts in just this last couple of days. Mm-hmm. That's all Facebook referrals. So, you know, and it's I don't pay any money for that. It's all free. So, and I just have a very active profile. I get some on LinkedIn, Instagram as well, but I just try to stay in front of the crowd and, try to give out as much free information as possible to people. And if they choose they want to work with me and, you know, I get a paycheck from it, great. If not, and they did it, they went to their cousin, that's okay too. Like, to me, I have a philosophy where if you give as much as you can, you know, the world takes care of itself, if that makes sense. Like, so if I give as much out, it's always come back to me. Yeah. So that's just been my philosophy and how I try to live my life.
That's what's happening with me with Moreflix, where I created it back in November. I started building the studio in Orlando at the office July last year. And it's really hard to convert something from a regular office to a streaming studio. So it took a lot of work. And then back in November, I decided, well, might as well just find somewhere where I can send all this content and get people to send me content and distribute it to all these beautiful apps, and started calling people and researching. And I found like 2-3 people, and I went down with one, and that's where I have right now all these apps. So, but originally I was thinking of how I can monetize it. And at the end I decided, obviously COVID had a lot to do with that. I decided, you know what? I just put it for free. I'll cover the bandwidth for the CDN, and have people send their content from free. And who knows, in a year, 2 years, whatever, I might do something, monetize or whatever. For now, I'm doing everything for free. Whoever is listening to this and their content is related to mortgage and real estate, they can send their content for free. And right now I'm counting, I had 12, 13, 15 apps. The cool thing about it is once I'm done with this, right now this is recording to the CDN, and once the CDN is, the video is encoded, I'll go ahead, cut the beginning, cut the end if I need to cut something, and it'll be in about an hour, it'll be in a bunch of apps. So it's just fantastic, and
that's amazing.
And it opens more because you post something on Facebook, cool, you might get a few views. You post something on YouTube, or you might send something to iTunes, to the podcast. But I mean, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, just in Roku, you're talking Roku has 25 million users. Apple TV has somewhere in 19, 20 million. So it's just, it's incredible.
Yeah, just the exposure that you're getting. And then and not only that, you're giving back to people like me, just to get more exposure. And that's, the fact that this community has been so giving to each other and only wants, this is what I see is like most of everyone involved in it just wants the others to succeed with them. So you really can't beat that. Like I've never, you know what I mean? Like I've never really experienced something where people were just so everybody wants everyone to win. And whenever you have that mindset, I feel like we can't lose together. So.
And what do you see in regards to the market compared to last year? What do you market, or what your numbers are looking right now? Are you doing more, less, same the last year?
My volume has doubled, and then since last year, and then this year I project a quadruple by the end of the year. Wow, but nice. I would tell you that's because I have a team, and if I could go back and tell you one regret that I did not do was I tried to do it all by myself, and I literally started failing. It was so much, and I just had to find the right people to surround myself with, but I was juggling so many baskets, and so I wasn't succeeding at anything. Yeah. And so whenever I got down to it, I was like, I have to invest in a full-time staff, because that's the people that's going to continue to help. I literally have offloaded so much on them. I actually have a personal life now. Like I didn't have time to do anything but work, and I was still not closing loans efficiently. So, and it had nothing to do with my lack of work or willpower or nothing like that. It was just strictly some days you just got to sleep. Yeah. So I would say to anybody who wants to have growth, and if you want to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loans a month and successfully close them, and you're, whatever, and you do it by yourself, and you don't have to worry about paying W-2s and all that stuff, then that's fine. That's just it. The way I was being led was my growth continued to go up in substantial percentages of volume, and I had to have the team. And so anyway, that's all being worked out now.
So you got, I'm
excited.
Yeah, that happened to me before too, where I wanted to do everything, and it's hard, especially dealing with volume and a lot of people. Our market here is a little bit difficult as well, because a lot of people, they want the down payment assistance programs. They want the lowest possible money to the table. So it's it's a little bit difficult here.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's two different markets, Louisiana and Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania is a little bit better on the property types and the stuff like that. So Louisiana, we've flooded continuously. We're also
hurricanes too.
Yeah, so we have hurricanes all the time, and so we're constantly in a federally disaster area.
Yeah. Oh no.
And so what happens is it just makes lending more difficult, and so we don't get the appraisal waivers in Louisiana. And generally, the market's just different. And you got a lot of manufactured homes, and you got a lot of 100% down payment, and you got USDA loans that we do a lot of, and then on the other side of the spectrum, I have a lot of conventional refinances. So I've done borrowers, for the first and second time home, and now they're in a $500,000 home, and they just want to refinance to a 2.75 rate over 15-year fixed, because they're, my age now, and they're thinking about, okay, I want to be done with my mortgage in 15 years because I want to retire. So those are the kind of things that we've been But when I told the girls, I was like, we do every loan type. Like there's nothing that, in Louisiana, you can have a $500,000 house right next door to a mobile home. Like it's just so diverse. And you know, it keeps us on our toes. It's a little bit more challenging. Cause with that being said, we have to use several different lenders. I mean, I think at one point we have like eight active loans with 8 active different lenders right now. And so it does create a little bit more, stress on the team, but you know, it's something that we're willing to do for our borrowers. And that's another thing that I told them, like, as soon as we're ready to hire another person, let's get them on board. Like, as soon as y'all feel at the point where y'all are breaking, we're going to just keep hiring until we build a strong enough team where no client gets left behind. That's the goal, and to get everything efficiently done. That's what my goal is.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great advantage of being a mortgage broker, where you can you have the options of different lenders doing different things outside, you know, as a difference from maybe a retail operation that just one lender, one underwriter, and that's it. That underwriter didn't approve your loan, that's it, is dead. At least with a broker, you have the options of sending it not the same loan to the same lender at the same time, but wow, you submit it to one did deny it, then you fix it, find out what's going on, and maybe send it to another lender. So that's the advantage of being a mortgage broker, or have different options for different borrowers. Not every borrower, not every client is the same, so it's just case by case. That's always what I say. Let me cover some topics with you real quick. Okay. Here, let me punch that into the screen. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac will allow borrowers who took forbearance to refinance their mortgage. So that's a hot topic right now. And people were, you know, us in the industry, we were, okay, but these people got into a forbearance, now what? And they want to refinance, we won't be able to touch them. Some people were saying for a year. So I guess something worked out where Fannie and Freddie are going to go ahead and allow people, after 3 payments, they had to make 3 payments. That's my understanding. They had to make 3 payments. And then
that just got issued out.
Yeah, I think Jason Frazier posted it today, and I saw it from.
I saw it. I get the Fannie Freddie email guidelines updates, but this is the thing, and I'm always, it's complicated about me is the fact that I always see all sides to everything, so it kind of makes things difficult to take a stand on certain things. Because you know, you have people who so I know people were screaming, you know, forbearance, and I get it. Education is key, but like the way you present that to some people is like forbearance is going to, you know, be the end of your life. And what I like to educate borrowers, I usually try to take a different approach. If you lost your job and you're about to, you know, lose your house, take the forbearance. That's what it's there for. Don't abuse forbearance if you still have a job and you can pay your monthly note and you're just trying to get some extra
freebie. Yeah, freebie.
Right, you're just getting a freebie. Like that, you really will cripple the economy. It's bigger than yourself. And so that's what I've been trying to, you know, get across. Like, let's not scream out from the mountaintops that forbearance is so terrible. It is put in place to protect homeowners in a disaster situation. And that's exactly what this was. So if you don't need it, don't take it. So I didn't like the message that was being presented out there for so long, because I'm like, I truly have people who have lost their jobs and like, they need help. And, you know, they went from one income, or a lot of the small business owners. I'm involved with a lot of small business owners here because we all work together. And so, you know, you got business owners who are couples who lost their jobs. I mean, they lost their livelihood with nothing. So to me, it's just about presenting. Education is key. Borrowers don't know what they don't know. We have to educate them and keep them informed. And that's something I try to do daily through the outreach of social media.
Yeah, on Saturday, I spoke to a couple. They wanted to refinance, I guess, to the, they listen obviously to the news and to the market, and they see that rates are low, or that you can get, for example, UWM Conquest, 2.5, 3%, and they want to refinance. So I asked them, okay, are you working right now? And neither of them were working. they were not working at all. So I told them, unfortunately, the lender requires that you have your job or that you're working. So it's just.
I have so many of those scenarios right now. Also, like where people they have plenty of equity in their home and they're trying to get the equity to pay their bills, then you got to have a job. So you got to have a job to continue stability, even if you're taking $100,000 cash out. So I've even looked at like 401k. I'm trying to do that for some people right now, is like 401k asset depletion. Can I, is Fannie and Freddie allow me to use that if they're under the age 59 and a half or whatever it is, to be able to start drawing out that. So I'm trying to innovate ways to help borrowers, because I have several stuck in that situation where they just we just want to take the equity out of our house so we have enough money to cover our bills for the next couple months or whatever. And, we're even having a standstill on that. So, whenever the market dropped kind of overnight, we went from like, boom, and everybody was making a ton of money and everybody's like looking pretty and everybody's rocking and rolling. We're doing all these refinances because the market looks so good. And then Corona hit and it was like over a 2 or 3 week period, it felt like, holy, are we still going to have a business? But thankfully, we've the government and, our top leaders at AIM, who's in Barry Habib and all these people that have stayed in contact with our government leaders to try to make sure that they're forming these things to where they help not only the lenders, but the borrowers, because we all need each other. So like borrowers need brokers, brokers need lenders, lenders need servicers. Like it's all tied together.
Yeah.
So
and realtors need lenders.
Realtors
brokers,
need us, title companies need everybody needs each other. So it's one of those things where we have to make sure that we're protecting everyone. And because everybody got to make money to be successful, and that's what it's all about. So we can save borrowers money every month. That's making money for them. Everybody can work together. So thankfully, we have leaders that are putting these things in place. They're just sometimes delayed. As usually with government things, that they're just delayed behind of weeks of answers. You know what I'm saying? So we've been kind of waiting on these answers, but I'm glad they finally came.
Correct. And have you received any emails or any calls from any of your lenders saying, well, you closed so-and-so a month, 2 months, or a few weeks ago? Nothing, right?
No.
Saying, well, they got into a forbearance, or they're missing their first payment, blah, 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 blah. Well, thank God we haven't seen it in our office because we're on top of that.
Right.
But
I haven't seen any. From what I'm very cautious with the borrowers whenever I even am doing a pre-approval. Is like, hey, look, if you want to get a loan through me, you have to pay your bills. So like, I understand this things might happen, but I'm even kind of on a personal level wanting more reserves than before, wanting more savings than before, because I want to make sure, that Paradise brand, that our lenders are not getting in trouble, and our borrowers, because I don't want them to go on an immediate forbearance and can't afford their note. Then I haven't successfully done my job.
yeah, because you want the quality, obviously the quality client that is not gonna look for a freebie after closing, especially
Correct.
now.
So I've been very adamant and very vocal about that to my borrowers. Look, I get something happens. I've had a borrower pass away shortly after closing. So you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that we cannot control. With that being said, is all I can do is, like I said, I go back to education and communication. So they don't know what they don't know. Whenever I tell them, I don't usually have a problem. Once I've clearly communicated my expectations for someone applying through a loan through Paradise.
Gotcha. Yeah, you set expectations with a client, obviously. And what do you see? Let me pick your brain real quick. What do you see? Give me your future view, your what should I call it? The crystal ball view in the next 3 to 6 months, and maybe jump into next year. What do you see on the market? What do you see in our industry?
So, as far as the market's concerned, I think you're going to have a lot of winners and losers. So usually whenever something like this happens.
Well, retail is a big loser right now. JCPenney just declared bankruptcy yesterday.
No, I agree with that. I just mean in general, like the stock market, in general, the stock market, so you're going to have some companies who got really, really hurt, and some companies are really, really won from this. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
With lenders. So you're going to have some lenders who took too many risks, didn't make the right choices, and you're going to have some lenders that did the exact right things and are going to come out on top.
Yeah.
I think that just happens when you go into a cycle like this. So what I think is going to happen, I think you're going to see that, and this is what I try to explain to people: housing creates stability for our market. And so as long as I think rates are going to stay low, I think we're going to, for the next 18 months, I think at least, because I think the government's going to continue to push housing, because housing is what stabilizes the economy.
Yeah, it's the engine. Yeah.
So personally, I think it's going to be great. It's a great time to be a mortgage broker, which is why I'm staffing up. I think it's a great time to make sure that we're efficient and that we can get more and more and more business, because I think it's only people are going to use housing as their way out of this hole that we've gotten with COVID.
Yeah, I saw. I think I saw a realtor report or something. I think it was a year or so ago, where somebody purchased a home. The economic impact for that particular home in that area is about $60,000-$70,000. So, and I think that's yearly. I think people buying and groceries and whatnot. So yeah, and last when I did the show with Jason Frazier, I did the show and we covered a report from exactly the same thing, that most likely housing is gonna be the one that left the economy. So we're set on a great position, great leaders, great group of people, and definitely is something to be proud, and something that I'm looking forward for the great volume, great impact that we as mortgage brokers, mortgage loan officers, mortgage lender in the United States are gonna achieve. And you're a great case of one, and definitely. So you're busy as ever. That's awesome, fantastic. You see the housing is gonna be elevating, or housing is gonna be lifting the economy. Is your state open? Florida just opened up, I think, Monday. So is your state open? Can you go out? Can you do certain things, or they limit you? What you gotta wear mask? How is Louisiana?
Yeah, so we have to wear a mask, and then there's like phases. So I think we're on like phase 2. I haven't really kept up that much. Pretty bad about it. But we're on like phase 2, and that so like restaurants are able to be open at 25% capacity. So, still distancing, still, because New Orleans got hit pretty hard. COVID came right around Mardi Gras. Thankfully, I didn't go.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, so it's kind of like Louisiana was like, at first, was one of the biggest numbers to jump up there. But yeah, so we're on phase 2. So 25% capacity at restaurants. I have yet to get out just because, we just been busy. But my spas are not open yet. I kind of complain about it a lot on Facebook, because one of the things that I love to do is go to the spa, and I do it every other week. And it's just a part of like me and how I take care of myself and my mental health and my de-stress. And so it's been since before Irvine that I've been able to go, which was early March, and I'm pretty frustrated about it. So hopefully they open those soon. I think June 5th is the target date on that.
Yeah, Florida, I think we're in phase 1, and same thing. Restaurants can open, I think it's 50% or something. I like you, I saw something in Facebook, but definitely little by little, I think we're gonna recoup. At least our market, or at least our industry, is busy. You're busy. I'm busy. I have few loans, and I don't even originate. I gotta just structure it, put it together, clean it, and give it to the loan officer assistant, and go from there. But Michelle, what else can we say? What else can we talk about this market, this crazy? 6 months ago, I met with Jason Frazier in Utah. I went to Utah, sat with him. I was telling him the idea for Morflix. was in December. So it was little by little, and we were talking about Morflix, the industry, how great, how awesome 2020 is gonna be, and then we got hit with COVID. Then nobody was waiting, nobody was expecting, but we got hit. So, and I really want to start going to the office, really start broadcasting from the office, that studio that I put so much blood, sweat, and tears on that studio, and instead of my house here, whatever. Everybody's doing the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. We all want to get back to normal. Believe me, I cannot wait, because I am a social person. So I like to, you've probably seen me at events. I literally talk to everyone. It's kind of like I'm nonstop. And so, yeah, it was kind of hard to get used to, like, stay inside, don't do anything, don't talk to anybody. I'm like, I don't think I can do that, Yeah. Physically, I don't know if I'm capable. I was always the kid in class that wouldn't shut up. So, it was hard for some of us extroverts that like enjoy getting out and being around people. So, as far as the market, I think it's a good time to buy. I think it's a good time to refinance. I think it's a good time to invest in your house. And, even outside of financing, like I tell people, while you're home, clean up your yard. House look nice. I mean, it's just to me, it's take care of your home. And I always try to give people, home, we put a lot of money in our homes. Are we checking our roofs? Are we making sure our AC units are properly maintained and function? Are you changing your filter, everything? Like, those are things that borrowers, I was blessed with a very well-educated father who kind of walked me through everything in life. And I'm very blessed for that, but not everybody has that. And so just simple borrower education about physically taking care of your home and what to do and what maintenance. And, because we want to make sure that they're protecting their assets, not just by paying their note every month, but let's make the asset the best possible, in the best possible shape. So when you do go to resell it, it's not a big expense. You're able to do it quickly. Even if you're in a bind, let's just say you do lose your job and you got $20,000 equity in your home, you can sell it really quickly if you've continued to maintain the inside and the outside of your home and all of its operating parts. So those are the things that I try to reiterate to borrowers and make sure that they understand the importance of taking care of what you have. And it's something else that I think that, other mortgage brokers should try to adopt, because we're not their parents, but a lot of people don't have the education. And I feel like we're here to educate, we're the experts, and I can structure a loan in 30 minutes, pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? So once they give me that app and I pull the credit, I'm going to structure the app, I'm going to disclose it, and I pass it off onto my team. So I have plenty of other time to educate borrowers about everything else in their life, about maintaining their assets. So,
so you're more financial advisor, type of person where it will guide the client, listen, do this, do that, take care of your credit card.
So a good thing that I talked to a borrower, he wasn't even for me, but he was a good friend of mine, and it's not in my state, and I referred him out to another broker. So they were coming to me that they wanted to pull all that equity out of their sale of their home in Louisiana to put down on the new one. So they thought they needed a bridge loan. So as I'm going through, and it's actually a borrower right now about the app who's pulling, who wanted to put 20% down. And these are 800 credit score borrowers. But what I went over with them is if you have a $300,000 loan amount, okay, and you put 20% down, and I'm just throwing, I don't like to be held to things on this call, but if you put 20%, that's $60,000 out of your account. When you have even if you do it like 5 or 10% down and you have an 800 credit score, just like what we have the reduced MI for those credit scores, I think one of them was like $68 a month MI. They're financing now at a 2.75% interest rate for 30 years. And the house market here is appreciating at a rate of 5.5%. So for instance, you've got, so now your appreciation rate of your asset is double the amount of your amortization. So if it were me, I would finance only not your card, not your credit cards, keep all that low, finance your house. It's literally making you money at the appreciation rate's double of what your amortization rate is. So if you take $60,000 that he was going to put down, and he's changed it to where now he's going to do 5% of 300,000, that's 15,000. So now we have a net profit of $45,000 that he's going to keep cash in the bank.
Correct.
Now that he keeps that, and I look at the difference of MI rate of $68. Okay, so I'm at $45,000 divided by 68. It would take him 661 months, 55 years to make up the difference of spending all his cash up front.
Wow.
And now he has a rate. And so he keeps $45,000. His monthly payment is completely affordable. And the numbers just don't add up to pull all your cash out to put down on a down payment, especially, and I'm talking about to the specific credit profile, right? Mm-hmm. So your 780 plus, the low MI, that's what I'm talking about. Not your ones when you get into a situation where MI is a little bit more steep. But people don't see this example of how it's literally silly to use all of your cash to do that. Take the cash, invest it in an IRA or an annuity or a 10-year flex plan where you're getting a 6.5% return on your money. You take half of it, take $40,000 and invest it and lock it up for 10 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Because right now your house is already making money.
Yeah.
You know, because the appreciation and the cost to borrow is so low. Correct. So being smart with numbers and being smart with your assets is very important. And like I said, if every client in every situation and where you have your money and all that stuff is different. But make sure you're getting with an advisor who's going to, you know, see the whole picture and not just stick you into
into any crazy loans around, which there are not many, but you never know. Yeah, you're right.
Well, just using your cash. I mean, I wouldn't put all my cash. I would rather finance more money. And if you have an 800 credit score and you're paying $60 a month in MI, it really is silly because you could do so much more with your cash at the time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I have all kind of little tips and tricks and things where, you know, I think people don't normally think that way, because, you know, they just want to go a quick in and out and get a loan done, approved. But that's why I try to do it in a what's going to help the borrower, you know?
Correct, exactly. Given the extra help, so that way they succeed in the future and they don't run into any troubles or any bad situations in the future after probably the purchase of the home or the refinance, which is good.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when the rates are so low, and when your rate, like I said, your appreciation rate here is double what your amortization is. It's a no-brainer.
So the houses are going really, the property values are going really, you know, really high compared to obviously the rates. So your home values are increasing real good?
Yes, we have a good appreciation rate here.
Oh, okay, nice. And you more closer to the coast, or you're farther inland?
I am right in between. I'm right in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. So I'm about 40 minutes from New Orleans, 30 minutes from Baton Rouge.
So you're in between.
So I am. But like, so this weekend we're going to Grand Isle, which is like that's the very end of the boot thing right down there. Island, and we're going. We chartered a boat to go fishing. So hopefully we'll catch a lot of food.
Nice, very nice, very relaxing. You deserve it. Well, Michelle, let's leave it here. Definitely was a pleasure and honor having you here, Moreflix. Go ahead and say your information again, your contact information, what state you're in, so that way anybody can, they can contact me through Moreflix or whatever, and I'll pass it on to you. And I really, really thank you for being on Moreflix. You're my second guest for Mortgage Talk Live. We're gonna have a lot more. I had 2 more this week, and next week I had 2 more. We're gonna bring a lot of content into the network. You're invited to send you content if you want to. If you ever decide to create a show, we can put that together too. So it's really easy, really simple, and thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it, sweetheart.
I feel honored that
and hopefully I see you. Let's see if I see you on Fuse. We'll see.
I'm gonna be a Fuse.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
That should be a no-brainer.
I know. It's just with this COVID thing. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm going. I wanted to go to Miami. I had my ticket. I never canceled my tickets. I'm an all-in AIM event. You know why? Because they provide so much value, and they work their butts off every day for us. So I try to support them in every way possible.
Yeah.
And so that's just how I am. And I'm an all-in kind of girl. Like, I'm in it. I'm going to show my support. I'm going to show up. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m, put my purse in the front row. Usually the front row, nobody stays in the seats because I get up so early because I get so excited about going to the event.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Michelle Vaughn Rodriguez with Paradise Mortgage Brokers. I am in Louisiana and Pennsylvania. You can contact me. Most easiest is email at Michelle, MICHELLE at paradisem.com. That's PARADISEMB, like mortgagebroker.com. Or I have a website. It's www.paradisemb.com.
I'll put it on the because I'm able to put show notes. I'll put the contact information too. I'll put your email in the show notes.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, if one of my team members or myself will reach out. We're excited about our growth and expansion, and I'm very